Hello, this is Ankita Rath from OdishaTV.in bringing you today's news from Odisha. First, the headlines. Odisha government hikes electricity rate for industries by 1%. Rasulgarh flyover opened for partial vehicular movement between Bhubaneswar and Cuttack on National Highway 5. Supreme Court to hear Odisha Olympic Association encroachment case on October 8. Odisha truckers' body joins nationwide strike called by All India Motor Transport Congress, demanding scrapping of present toll system and one-time payment of taxes. And ticket sale at counters for India-South Africa T20 match at Barwadi Stadium begins today. Now the details. The Odisha government on Wednesday approved a marginal hike in the power tariff. A decision to this effect was taken at the State Cabinet meeting presided over by Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik at the State Secretariat in Bhubaneswar. Briefing newsmen after the meeting, Chief Secretary G.C. Pati said the Cabinet approved the amendment in the Electricity Duty Act 1961. The state government had revised the power tariff in 2001 and 2006. However, in keeping with the changing circumstances and existing power tariff structure in other states, the Cabinet has effected marginal hike by just 1%. However, there has been no change in the power tariff for agriculture and domestic consumers, he added. The Chief Secretary also informed that as regards captive consumption, there would be no electricity duty on power consumption up to 50 kV, which will benefit the shop owners and domestic consumers. Earlier, the limit was 10 kV. Giving details about the power tariff hike, Energy Secretary Suresh Mahapatra said the power tariff for small industries has been increased from 4% to 5%, high tension from 7% to 8%, extra high tension from 8% to 9%, and captive power plant CPP from 20 paise to 30 paise per unit. With this hike, the Energy Department will have additional revenue generation of about Rs 300 to 350 crore, Mahapatra said. In another development, the Cabinet also decided to revamp Sardar Rajas Medical College Hospital and Research Centre at Jaring in Kalahandi district. A total of 100 students had taken admission in this medical college in 2013 and 14. However, the Medical Council of India MCI did not allow admission of students in this institution in 2014 and 15, citing infrastructure deficiency. However, following the intervention of the court, the council allowed admission of 24 students in the same academic session. Since the private promoter could not run the institution properly, the Western Odisha Development Council (WODC) has cancelled the MOU it had signed with it, Development Commissioner UN Behra said. To ensure uninterrupted study of the 124 students of this medical college, it has been decided that the students would be accommodated in 3 private medical colleges and hospital in Bhubaneswar to complete their courses. In the meanwhile, the Health and Family Welfare Department on behalf of the state government would sign a fresh MOU with another private partner to run the institute. The state government has sought permission from the MCI in this regard, he added. Besides, the Cabinet also approved a new food and procurement policy for Kharif crops. Under the new procurement policy, the state government has decided to extend the online payment system for the farmers in 160 blocks, while in the remaining blocks the payment will be done through checks. The state government has decided to strengthen district-level procurement system in all districts. As per the decision taken at the Cabinet meeting, teachers of Tribal Welfare Residential TRW schools will be treated at par with the teachers of School and Mass Education Department. The Cabinet also approved the implementation of Odisha PVTG Empowerment and Livelihood Improvement Programme OPELIP. Under the program, the cadre of the teachers of the tribal schools would be made at par with the School and Mass Education teachers.
विभिन्न फैक्टर को आखि आगे रखी अन्य स्टेट रो जहाँ प्रचलित इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ड्यूटी अच्छी सब ताकू आखि आगे रखी गोटे मार्जिनाल इंक्रीज कराई बाय 1%, जोटा कैप्टिव पावर प्लांट सेटा 20 पैसा पर यूनिट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ड्यूटी सेटा को 30 पैसा पर यूनिट कराई आउ इरिगेशन पंप आउ डोमेस्टिक कंज्यूमर कौन सी वृद्धि करा जाई नाही।
अन्य जो इंडस्ट्रियल कैटेगरी जो मानकर 1% बढ़ाई एवं कैप्टिव पावर प्लांट रो 20 पैसा 30 पैसा कराई सब हिसाब को नेले अबाउट 300 to 350 crores पाखापाखि एडिशनल रेवेन्यू जनरेशन होबो।
Bringing joy to the commuters in between Bhubaneswar and Cuttack, the National Highway Authority of India (NHAI) on Thursday opened the Rasulgarh flyover for vehicular movement on National Highway 5. Sources at NHAI said the Rasulgarh flyover will be operational fully by Dussehra. Notably, from December 4 last year, the Commissionerate Police had diverted Cuttack-bound vehicles through the Mancheshwar industrial area to expedite construction of the flyover at Rasulgarh Square on the NH. With this, NHAI opened all the 5 flyovers in the capital city. The Judiciary Committee led by the Cuttack District Judge on Wednesday submitted a detailed report on the encroachment of government land by the Odisha Olympic Association to the Supreme Court in a sealed envelope. The Apex Court will have its next hearing of the case on October 8. The Apex Court on May 7 this year had directed the Odisha High Court to form a 3-member panel of judges headed by the District Judge with 2 more additional judges nominated by the Acting Chief Justice of Odisha High Court to probe into alleged encroachment of government land by the OOA on which the Barwati Palace and 23 shops have been erected. The court had also directed the Odisha Accountant General AG to submit a report on the financial transactions of Barwati Palace and other business establishments built on the encroached land. Acting on the directive of the Apex Court, the 3-member Judiciary Committee led by Cuttack District Judge Satyanarayan Mishra as its head, while additional district judges of Cuttack and Kendrapada, BK Mishra and Kirti Chandra Barik, conducted fresh measurement of the encroached land near the Barwati Stadium on September 2. It may be mentioned that the Odisha High Court in November last year had earlier directed the Cuttack District Administration to take possession of Barwati Palace and other business establishments and asked the Crime Branch to probe into the modus operandi of OOA. However, challenging the High Court order, OOA had later moved to the Supreme Court. Odisha Truckers' Body on Thursday joined the indefinite nationwide strike called by the All India Motor Transport Congress, demanding scrapping of the present toll system and one-time payment of taxes. According to sources, more than 2 lakh trucks from the state out of 87 lakh trucks across the country are taking part in the strike. Addressing newsmen at a press conference in the city here on Wednesday, AIMTC President Bhim Wadhwa said after several unsuccessful discussions with the central government, we are forced to go for an indefinite stay. The centre will be responsible for the consequences due to the agitation, Wadhwa added. Among others, AIMTC Chairman GRN Mugappa, former President OP Agarwal, Odisha Truck Owners Federation General Secretary Ravinarayan Satpathy were present.
ये टोल गेट बंद करो कहीं टोल गेट रहिबा द्वारा लक्षे कोटी टंकार डीजेल आमे केवल अपचय करूचु टोल गेट रे प्लस आम गाड़ी प्रत्येक 50-60 किलोमीटर गोटे गोटे टोल गेट रहिबा द्वारा विशेष रास्ता अतिक्रमण करि पारु नाही 10टा गाड़ी उपरे भड़ारू टीडीएस काटिया पई जो नियम अछि ताको हम प्रत्याहार करियो कहूछु काहे कि ना आमे भड़ा नाला आम गाड़ी टीडीएस कटा जाउछि किंतु सर्टिफिकेट दोना दे ट्रांसपोर्टर माने
All cable TV operators of the state would be digitized by December 31st this year under the Cable Television Network Amendment Act 2011 to provide better service to the cable TV consumers across the state, said Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, R. Jaya. According to sources, as many as 221 urban centers of the state have been included in the third phase of digitization and the process will be completed by December 31st, 2015. Briefing media persons at the workshop on cable TV digitization here on Wednesday, advisor to Ministry Jogendra Pal discussed the nuances of television and broadcasting industry in the country. With the digitization drive, as many as 10 lakh households of the state will be benefited, Pal added. This digitization process has been enacted in 4 phases. 4 metro cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai along with 38 important cities have been covered under process. The urban areas of the country will be digitized by December 31st, 2016. Pal said under this scheme, beneficiaries can watch the channels of their choice and access high-speed broadband service. Apart from high picture and sound quality, HDTV channels, recording of videos, interactive gaming and content will also be available to the consumers, Pal added. Among others, nodal officers of the state and West Bengal, multi-system operators and cable operators were present at the workshop. With October setting in, the spectre of natural disasters is back to haunt the state. Given the fact that occurrence of natural disasters in the month of October is usually high, a high-level meeting was held at the State Secretariat here on Wednesday. The meeting laid emphasis on proper coordination between state and central government in case of a probable disaster situation and setting up of an early warning mechanism. The probability of a natural disaster in Odisha and Andhra Pradesh is high. We discussed the issues which we can handle in advance and issues related to coordination, R.K. Jain, the Member Secretary of National Disaster Management Authority, told the media persons after the meeting. Odisha is a cyclone and flood-prone state and we are here to review the preparedness to tackle these disasters and NDRF is ready to extend all possible support to the state government in this regard, Director General of National Disaster Response Force OP Singh said. The meeting also discussed the ways of disaster management by leveraging modern technological know-how. We will now extend the use of technology in information and broadcasting to enable better dissemination of warnings to the general public, said L.S. Rathod, DG, India Meteorological Department. Safety and safeguarding of life and property during natural disasters, evacuation of people to safer places, and provision of emergency services were some of the areas which were given importance during the meeting. The Jajpur District and Session Court on Wednesday awarded a jail term of 15 years to a man accused of raping a minor girl in Kulharipur village under Badachana police limits in 2012. The court's judge Jiban Vallabh Das pronounced the sentence in the case after hearing total 22 witnesses. Notably, on March 2012, Bamadev Sahu of Kulharipur village took away the minor girl to an under-construction house and raped her. Tickets sell for the public for India-South Africa International 2020 match at Barwadi Stadium scheduled on October 5 began at 9 am on Thursday at the 3 counters of the stadium. According to sources, more than 11,000 tickets were sold at the 3 counters for the public. Around 7,000 tickets were sold online for the 2020 match. Similarly, 13,050 tickets were sold to the clubs affiliated to the Odisha Cricket Association, the units affiliated to the Board of Control for Cricket in India (BCCI) and educational institutions, the sources added. Treasurer of OCA Satya Mahanti said, "We have made 3 counters to sell the tickets. High denomination tickets are being sold at 1 counter while the other 2 are selling the gallery tickets." Meanwhile, Police Commissioner R.P. Sharma visited the stadium on Wednesday and reviewed the security arrangement for the match. As per the schedule, both the teams will arrive in Bhubaneswar in the evening on October 3 and have a net practice at Barwadi Stadium on October 4. The match will start at 7 p.m. on October 5. Chief Minister Navin Patnaik today called upon the police personnel to conduct crime investigations efficiently and effectively. The police have to be impartial, firm and prompt in handling crime and criminals, Patnaik, who also holds the home portfolio, said while attending the concluding function of the 63rd State Policy Duty Meet here. The Chief Minister asked the policemen to investigate offences against women, children, Dalits and tribals on priority and render their best professional services so that peace prevailed in the state for the benefit of one and all. Expressing happiness over achievements of the state police in the spheres of increased use of scientific aids in investigations and inculcation of scientific temper among the policemen, the Chief Minister asked them to use the knowledge gained from the meet in their professional field for the benefit of common people. Earlier in his inaugural address, Director General of Police DGP Sanjeev Marik said the police duty meet was an exercise to enhance the professional capability of the police personnel. To achieve self-sufficiency in egg and meat production, the Odisha Cabinet on Wednesday approved a poultry policy which aims to ensure daily production of 1 crore eggs and 1 lakh metric ton of poultry meat annually by 2020. Chief Secretary G.C. Pati said the government was trying to achieve self-sufficiency in meat and egg production that would generate employment and help to supplement nutrition levels in the state. The state plans to add 60 lakh bird capacity in the commercial layer farming through establishment of new units and 10 lakh birds through expansion of existing unit in the next 4 years, said Fisheries and Animal Resources Development Secretary Vishnupada Sethi. He said while the egg requirement of the state is 65 lakh, it is producing 34 lakh eggs presently. Entrepreneurs will be encouraged for establishment of the broiler units through capital incentive subsidy available under Poultry Venture Capital Fund through NABARD and State Agriculture Policy 2013, Sethi said. Exemption of stamp duty on purchase of land for poultry farming would be facilitated for the farmers, he added. Keeping in view the need for socio-economic development of farmers owning dairy animals, the Cabinet also approved a bovine breeding policy to make dairy farming an economic and viable activity. The policy aims to address the needs of both resource-poor and resource-rich dairy farmers. The productivity of the dairy cows and buffaloes would be enhanced and the overall milk production in the state would be augmented. Bhubaneswar Special Vigilance Court on Wednesday awarded former Odisha Hydropower Corporation OHPC Deputy Manager Dilip Mahanti and wife Krishna Priya Mahanti 3-year and 1-year jail term respectively in disproportionate assets case. According to reports, the crime bench had conducted a raid on house of Mahanti in 2004 and found disproportionate assets worth Rs 1.78 crore. Following this, the CB had later registered a case against Mahanti and wife, which was heard today by the Special Vigilance Court here. The court in its verdict said that Mahanti and his wife had amassed assets worth around Rs 42,31,600. And the couple had failed to explain the sources for the income of this amount. The court later sentenced Mahanti to 3 years rigorous imprisonment and a fine of rupees 10 lakh, and failing which he will have to undergo another 15 months jail term. The court also sentenced Mahanti's wife to 1 year jail term and a fine of rupees 50,000 on the charge of assisting her husband in amassing the disproportionate assets. The couple, however, told the media that they would move to the higher court against the lower court's order. We are not guilty and we have invested the money in our business, they said.
आज विभिन्न साक्ष्य प्रमाण नहीं स्वतंत्र अदालत श्रीजुक्त बालकृष्ण महापात्र से 42,31,000 टंका आय बहिर्भूत संपत्ति ठूल कर अभियोग दोषी सब्यस्त कले एवं 3 वर्ष सश्रम कारादंड 10 लाख टंका फाइन दंड विधान कर फाइन दे न पारे आउ 15 मास कारादंड से भोग करेंगे आदेश देते।
Before wrapping up, the headlines once again. Odisha government hikes electricity rate for industries by 1%. Rasulgarh flyover opened for partial vehicular movement between Bhubaneswar and Cuttack on National Highway 5. Supreme Court to hear Odisha Olympic Association encroachment case on October 8. Odisha truckers' body joins nationwide strike called by All India Motor Transport Congress, demanding scrapping of present toll system and one-time payment of taxes. And ticket sell at counters for India-South Africa T20 match at Barwadi Stadium begins today. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.